add a mesh. Create a new material. You want to remove the principal BSDF. Separate XYZ node. Control T. Delete the image texture node. Plug the vector into the vector and change it from UV to normal. Now we'll add a mix color node. Set to linear light. Voice texture with the color set here. This is 0.267. Detail is set to 8. And then we will change this to the Z channel. Color ramp set to B spline. And then we'll change these colors to blue, purple, green, and red. So we need a value node. This will be used to determine the scale of the textures in the mask. Put it in the scale right here. Set the value of 5. Now you want to insert all your textures. These are the textures I'm using: the Apollo grass, the Astria dirt gravel, Astria mud, Astria rock cliff, and then just the specular and normal versions of them. And we want to press Control T here. You want the Node Wrangler add-on to be able to do that. If you don't have the Node Wrangler enabled, you can just search mapping node and texture coordinate node and then link them up this way. Fast way to just quickly link them is to select the mapping and then the texture, and then just say make links. And then take the value from here and put it in the scale color node. Put right here. I'm going to take the alpha of the grass right here, and then the alpha of the dirt gravel put on the bottom. We're going to color ramp here, set from linear to B spline, crank up the white values, and crank up the black ever so slightly. Duplicate it, press this arrow, and then do reset color ramp, and then we're just going to flip this around. Set this to apply all the way, and so we can get this. We're going to do separate color. Now what I'm doing here is I'm just refining the masks for the textures that we'll be using later on. Duplicate this mix color node, change it from multiply to mix. And we're going to put the result into the factor. And we're going to take grass texture, put it on bottom, the rock texture, and put it on top. That gives us this. We're going to duplicate this once more. I'm going to take this, put it in the factor. We're going to put the grass at the bottom. And so now we have the grass layer on top, and then we've got the grass rock layers mixed together. We can actually refine the mask here. Determines how much of the rocks show. So I don't want too much rocks showing, maybe like this. Now we're going to duplicate this one more time. Take the blue channel, I believe. Yes, the blue channel. Put it here. We're going to take rock texture at the bottom. Then we want to duplicate one last time. We want to take this right here, and then factor, and take the dirt texture right there. And we're going to just crank it up. Ever so slightly, like that. Now we want to take all of this, and press Ctrl G, only want to name each part. So this one is going to be called top layer alpha, blend layer alpha. Then this is environment builder mask. Move that up here. This one is blend. This one's top. I believe this was cliff. And then this was soil. And then the result we'll call this D for diffuse. Duplicate this. So now we can just plug in everything right into here. We do need a separate color node for the specular, however, since we're using a principal BSDF shader. So separate color, the red goes into the specular, and then green goes into the metallic, and blue goes into the roughness. Now excuse the fact that my principal BSDF looks different than the 3.6 update of Blender. That's because I'm using the 4.1 alpha right now. It's pretty much the same. You still use the separate color. You plug in everything the same way. Green goes to metal, blue goes to roughness, and red goes to the specular. I believe here it's called IOR level, but in 3.6 it's called specular. Anyways, we need now a normal map, and we put it down here. Take the normal, plug it into the color, and then the normal goes into this normal. And here is where we encounter our first problem. Now, as you can see, the lighting appears to be, for some reason, putting shadow where the highlights should be and highlights where the shadow should be. So if we go here to rotation, we actually can change it by changing the rotation of the X value by 180. And as you can see, that fixed the issue. Now we can actually increase or decrease the strength from this. I find a value of 1.5 is actually pretty good. And then what we can do here is a hue and saturation for the diffuse. We can set this to 0.65 for how dark it is, and then bring up the saturation. Is the finished product.